Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I really want to thank Commissioner Meyers from Arizona for coming here and representing our great state of Arizona and for all your great work. I think it's very common sense work that you do to benefit the Arizona ratepayers.
Thank you.
I also want to recognize your daughter sitting behind you, Zoe, committee. Yay, Zoe. Well, it's great that you get to visit with your dad and learn about all these great things, and hopefully you'll get to see some sights here in Washington, D.C. and have a little bit of fun. Mr. Meyers, in your written testimony, you said your priorities in this order are grid reliability, ratepayer affordability, and then cleaner technologies, and I want to say I totally agree with your priorities. Just last week, the Arizona Corporation Commission took steps to dial back some of the costly renewable energy standards and tariff rules that were going on since 2006, I think. Hopefully, this will be a model for other states to follow. Because of our reasonable approaches in Arizona, we have been a magnet for new businesses coming to our state. Many of these businesses are fleeing California due to their single priority, which is 100% renewable energy. California is actively against policies that are affordable and reliable. The average residential utility bill in Arizona is $138 per month. We have very hot summers, so our usage is much higher to keep people cool. However, if we had the same rates as California, the average bill would increase to $274 a month, doubling the cost. I am working on draft legislation that will address grid reliability and affordability, so I'm very interested in all of your views in this area. My first question for Commissioner Meyers is, the EPA's power plant proposal effectively requires carbon capture and storage or clean hydrogen, two commercially unproven technologies, to reduce carbon emissions by 90%. Since these technologies are unproven, can you discuss the potential reliability problems EPA's proposal would create for Arizona?
Absolutely. Thank you for the question. I believe one of our utilities used the words aspirational and unproven when they were describing it, because that's exactly what it is. Those technologies are so much in their infancy that they are extremely expensive, the timeline is extremely rushed, and there is absolutely no infrastructure in place to handle either one of those technologies. We have power plants that are outside of, they're kind of out in the rural areas. Well, you can't pipe hydrogen, for example, long distances. You have to convert it to ammonia and then convert it back. That is extremely expensive. There is no infrastructure in place to handle any of that. It would absolutely increase cost dramatically to Arizona utilities if we had to do that. It might also accelerate the closure of certain plants because of these requirements. These requirements, the dates on them, I believe, are carbon capture would have to be installed by 2030, and hydrogen blending would have to be 2032. Those are extremely accelerated dates, and that might end up changing the timelines of our reliable energy shutdown. So that ends up being a reliability problem for us.
Well, thank you very much for that answer. And Ms. Pridemore, I think you wanted to talk about the last statement from my Democratic colleague, so I'll give you a chance to do that.
Thank you, Congresswoman Lesko. I don't want to correct any member of the committee, but the gentlelady's question was relative to the holding company. I regulate one of the operating companies. The activities of Southern Company are not regulated and certainly not under my authority.
Thank you. And in the few seconds I have left, Commissioner Meyers, can you discuss how the natural gas system contributes to the overall reliability and resiliency of the energy system?
Absolutely. Natural gas is our reliable dispatchable energy. So without that, we have no backup when the sun doesn't shine. Batteries simply are not there. They, for as much battery storage as we have, it is only 2 to 4 hours tops, and we have one utility that's been waiting 10 years to get the batteries they've ordered. So the supply chain issue is a big deal. So the only option we have right now is natural gas for our reliable backup.
Thank you very much, and I yield back.
Generally yields